Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to be continuing on with our C# programming tutorial series, and in this particular tutorial we are going to be taking a look at sealed classes in C#. Now, what exactly are sealed classes? Well, sealed classes are a way for you to prevent a class from being inherited from. This can be useful for classes that you don't need to extend in the future. It's useful to make sure that nothing gets accidentally changed through inheritance for some reason. Now, the big thing to keep in mind about sealed classes is that while they do also provide a performance benefit, it's relatively minimal, so you should not use sealed classes everywhere for the sole purpose of a performance boost, because the benefits usually outweigh those very small performance optimizations. Okay. Another benefit, a benefit of sealed classes as well is it provides clarity. So when you mark a class as sealed, the intent is pretty clear. The intent of why it's sealed is clear, making it easier to read and maintain. Now, you should not use sealed classes if your class that you're marking as sealed needs any future extension. If it does, leave it open for inheritance. Because if you mark it as sealed, obviously you can't inherit from it. You're also going to want to be careful about using sealed in third-party libraries, because you might accidentally break something that relies on what you're marking as sealed. Properties and methods inside of classes can also be marked as sealed. So if you want to prevent a method or a property from being overridden in a child class, you would mark it as sealed. So that, I believe, is enough explanation. Other than the fact, too, that structures, those are sealed implicitly. That's why you cannot inherit from a structure. Okay? So let's go into our code and create a new file. This file is going to be called square. Okay? And this square class is going to be sealed. We don't want this square to be inherited from or anything like that. So go ahead and create a new file. And we're going to save it as square.cs. Here we can say public sealed class square. Go ahead and open up the body of this class. We are going to, we're not going to inherit from our shape class that we still have, because because we're just not, we don't need to in this example. We need to focus more on sealed classes rather than dealing with our abstract class. Here we're going to have a width, or rather a side length. So public decimal side length, right? we can have get equals greater underscore side length set equals greater underscore side length equals value. Above our property, we're going to have a private decimal underscore side length okay. Now let's put our constructor public square decimal side length this dot underscore side length equals side length. Okay, and then we will have a public void display information where we will console we can say console right line $, quotation marks, and we can say area is underscore side length times underscore side length new line perimeter colon underscore side length times 4. Okay. And we can say side length underscore side length like that. And there we go. Now we have all of the information that we need to display for our square. Let's go ahead and go back into our program CS file. And we can go ahead and say square S equals a new square. And we will give this a side length of we want 354 point and with that and then we have that kind of as our side length. It's a much more precise side length, but I want to make this a little bit more interesting. Okay? So we have our square, and then we can say s dot display information. Go ahead and save that. Let's go into our terminal and do a .NET run. And so there is our side length, area, and our perimeter. Okay, so that's our perimeter, area, and our side length being printed to the console. But what if we try to create another class? We can call this class child class, let's say, and we try to inherit from square. Well, if we try to run our code, .NET run, and when it runs, we get an error saying that the child type, child class, cannot derive from square. And that's because we marked it as sealed. Okay, so that pretty much does it for how we can create sealed classes in C#. Thank you all so very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.